Yes, everybody, good morning. It's actually good afternoon, actually. Now, my name is Stephen Howson, and this is a little bit of a last-minute urgent transfer talk. So there's some news come out. Marzio's built up a little bit of a reputation for knowing the ins and outs of what's going on in Italian football, and he's come out with something where you kind of have to sit up and take notice. And that's him coming out and saying Icardi will only leave Inter in a swap deal, and you go, all right, no bother. Kind of heard this last couple of days, and Cavani's name was being flung around a little bit as someone that could potentially be involved in that swap deal, and it's emerging a little bit that actually Cavani might be a little bit too pricey for them. Lukaku's name has been thrown into the mix, and we have to sit up and take notice of this. So he's come out and he said it's the same situation for Cavani, whose 12 million salary would blow up the Inter wage structure. If I were to give a concrete exchange, I would say that Manchester United's Romelu Lukaku. Oh. On the flip side of this, Lukaku's been coming out and saying stuff like it is his dream to play in Serie A, talking about the first football match he can remember. It was the 1998 UEFA Cup final against from Inter against Lazio, so Inter involved, one of his early memories. Original Ronaldo rounding the goalkeeper in that game. Is this a good move for United fans? Is this a move that's likely to happen? Marzio's track record's pretty good. You would have to say that there's something in this. It felt like there's been something in this. You're often seeing Lukaku linked to Italy, and I don't know if that's because his brother's there or because in the past he has mentioned his dream to play in Serie A. He also mentioned he had the opportunity to go to Juventus when he left Chelsea, and he didn't think it was the right time, and then Conte left like a day after that opportunity. So we've seen swap deals before. Not necessarily gone very successful, pretty unsuccessful one for United 18 months ago with Sanchez and Mkhitaryan. But is Icardi actually an upgrade on Lukaku? Well, let's delve into the data, let's have a bit of a look at it, and let's see what we can pull up. Because on the face of things, yes, Italian football sees less goals on the whole. Ronaldo's not scoring anything like he normally scores out over in Serie A because it's harder to score goals. The chance creation is a little bit less. But the main issue that I'm seeing is if you drill down into it, he actually doesn't even score as many goals with the same amount of shots when you break it down as Lukaku does. Lukaku's got a 22% conversion, Icardi only a 16% conversion, which means he'll be doing even less than Lukaku is. Now, are we only looking at Lukaku for his conversion? Is there maybe issues with how many shots Lukaku has per game? Well, it's pretty similar how many shots they have per game. Icardi's going to be involved in key passes a little bit more, which means that probably can get involved in build-up play. But Icardi reminds me very much of like a Chicharito. He's a pure poacher, more so than Lukaku, who's best as a poacher, but we seem to want to play him like he's Didier Drogba, and he's nothing of the sort. As you can see on the screen there, the goals per 90. Icardi's not really lighting the world up there. You see Marcus and Marshall play wide. Pogba's obviously a midfielder. And Rom has a better per 90 goals than him. I think obviously his first touch is better. I think his work rate's better. I think his movement might be better. But if people are pissed off of the attitude of Pogba and Marshall and a couple of other players in our team, I don't think Icardi fixes that. As I said, there are more key passes that come from Icardi. There's a little bit less passes per game. That might be an Italian thing. He gets more goals inside the penalty area, and against teams that sit in a low block in Italy, maybe that's a good thing. He's taking better shots than Lukaku. Icardi's got 2 more assists, 4 than Lukaku has got. There's not much in this for me. For the kerfuffle that we would create, I think Lukaku's really suffering from confidence at the moment. When he runs with the ball, when he dribbles with the ball, he looks terrified of himself. Icardi does have a bit more of a swagger about him. There's definitely an attitude about the guy. I'm just not sure he's going to be that leader. People have been talking lately about the leader that the likes of Rashford can look up to and to try and emulate. Zlatan was that guy Is Icardi that guy? I don't think Icardi is that guy. I'm not sure Lukaku is that guy, to be honest with you, but I don't think he is. Brandon saying, Icardi is better than any other top 6 striker. I don't think he's better than Aguero, my mate. I'm not even sure he's better than Higuain. Probably not better than Harry Kane, is he? Or Son. So, I don't get the hype around Icardi. Movement is better than Lukaku. Wow. First touch is better than Lukaku. Wow. His finishing is not better than Lukaku's. This is a strange one for me. Just because it's a strange one doesn't mean it won't happen, though. I fully believe in United's board's ability to buy strange signings. I absolutely do. You guys let me know in the comments. What do you think? Is this a transfer that, one, you would like to see happen, and two, that you can see happening? Let me know in the comments, and I'll read some of your comments out. He would have scored Lingard's chances. Well, you can't say that, can you? Would he have been in the right place? We should go all out for Werner. The guy's so good. Again, Werner's conversion rate's not that great, although I do agree he's a better player than him. He could become Aguero for United. I don't know about that, mate. He is young. He's not that young. Don't agree with me at all. His finishing is amazing. You clearly don't watch Serie A. Mate, you can tell what you want. His finishing is literally not as good as Lukaku's. I'll give you the cold, hard facts, if you like. Let's pull that shit out for you. He's taken more shots and scored less goals. So Lukaku currently on 12 league goals in 21 appearances, coming off the bench 10 times. They both played roughly 2,000-ish minutes. Roughly 2,000-ish minutes they both played, right? And Icardi has scored, in those 2,000-ish minutes, 10 goals. In those, Lukaku has scored 12 goals. The shots that it's taken him to get to that, Lukaku, 12 in 54. Icardi, 10 in 61. That's literally worse finishing, mate. I mean, are you actually going to argue that with a fact? It's not an opinion. It's literally worse finishing. Jovic or Werner are genuine ballers. I do like Werner. I'm not sure he's the right one for us. Crouch in the summer. I'm going off stats. Yeah, I am going off stats. You know why? Because it's factual. Everyone can have opinions on certain things. You can't have opinions on facts. Numbers are misleading. Well, clearly they are misleading. Location of shot matters. It does matter. But then, when people say the location of the shot matters, as you've seen, Icardi does get more inside the 6-yard box, which is good. But doesn't mean that he's having shots from outside. If I go and check out the expected goals for both of them, let's have a look at that. I didn't have a look at that before we came on, but I will do now. Let's have a quick look what they're doing. Right, according to this year's data, we're looking at Icardi has a higher expected goals than what he scored, which means he's missed chances. He probably should have scored 3 more goals. Lukaku probably should have scored 0.81 more goals. The data suggests Lukaku is a better finisher. Now, like I said, there might be more in the movement, there's certainly more in the hold-up play, and there's probably a better touch in there. But on a pure finishing ability, Lukaku's better. So I don't think Icardi brings that. Yeah, if you want to say he brings more to the team, I could agree with that. Icardi, someone just saying, Icardi scores more outside the box. That's where Icardi scores his goals from. Does not score them outside the box. Let's have a look at Lukaku's. It's very similar. It's a very similar pattern. Mostly inside the box, 1 or 2 just on the edge of the box. Am I sure Icardi is coming in? I'm not saying he's coming in. I'm going off what Marzio's saying. And I'm just trying to analyse, is he a better option than Lukaku? Some you could throw out there would be an absolute better option. I don't know if Icardi is an absolute better option. You build your team around your number 9, says Pinch. Lukaku isn't what we need. Do you know what? Yeah, I think you might be right that we can't necessarily build a team around him at the moment. There's something going wrong with him, big time. Icardi is trouble, says JC. Icardi has better positioning, will make chances. Well, I don't know. Stats are lies, says Mitz. Me and you are going to the coffee shop in a bit. How is his pace? I don't think he's that fast, to be honest. I certainly wouldn't say he's faster than Lukaku. I wouldn't. I think he gets caught when he goes up. What software do I use to get player stats up? A combination of Instat, Understat and Who Scored. It's usually the best place for all the stats. Is a striker actually necessary, says Harry Byrne? Well, I would argue it's probably low down on the priority list, but then you could counter that argument very easily by saying we haven't scored a goal from open play in 8.5 hours. So yeah, probably is quite an important thing. Icardi's a nightmare. Don't Inter fans hate him? Yes. Icardi's totally wrong for United, says far too slow, says Peter. Who would I say is a better option than Icardi? I haven't really spent a great deal of time looking at strikers because it's not been a position I've thought we would necessarily have to look to. I've been looking at defenders, I've been looking at fullbacks, I've been looking at wide players. So I will be doing shortlists over the summer, but I haven't really sat down and gone through everybody in terms of available strikers that I would like to see us go for. Icardi just changes the way we play. That's the only real change if I'm expecting if it happens. Well, I don't think we would try and launch it up to him the way we do with Lukaku, which is probably a good thing. 7 starts since December, says Chris. Icardi and his wife make a lot of problems. He isn't faster or stronger. He isn't a great finisher that does smart runs. I don't want him at our club. A lot of divided opinion on these. Lukaku, perfect for Inter. They're crossing his mint, says Z. That might be a bad. That might be a bad shout. Yeah, maybe there's a lot in this. Yeah. Righty, I'm going to wrap it up there. Just a short and sweet one today. Just having a look at that news that Marzio reckons that this one is a concrete thing that could happen. I guess we will wait and see. Do you know what? With the amount of outs that we already needed, replacing a striker as well as all this lot, it's going to be a long summer, isn't it? Thank you guys for joining us. Make sure to subscribe. There's loads of sign-up offers and all sorts of stuff from the good folks at BetBull who are sponsoring all my shows at the moment. So please check them out. Come follow me and you can win a signed Marcus Rashford shirt. But let me know your thoughts. Icardi, better than Lukaku? Yes or no? Laters.